Yeah, hi there. I'm Jonathan Keene. I'm with the Wolf Creek Community Alliance here in Grass Valley. Yeah, this is the second or third, I kind of lose track of the number of mines that we've been worried about here in Grass Valley. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the impacts that the proposed project would have on Wolf Creek and some of the tributaries, the whole watershed really. So just to kind of clarify, there's actually, some of you may not know, there's actually two different sites that this project is proposed. One is on, they're about 2 miles apart. One of them is on Brunswick Road, and that's called the Brunswick site. The other one's closer to downtown Grass Valley. It's called the Centennial site. And both sites have creeks running through them. The main stem of Wolf Creek runs right through the Centennial site, which is close to downtown. The other site, which is out on Brunswick, has a tributary called South Fork of Wolf Creek, which flows through that site, right through the middle of it. That's really the more industrial site, they're both big industrial sites. But I like to think of these two surface plots, the two sites, as like the two tips of an iceberg, of a single iceberg, because the underground workings of the mine are like 70 miles of tunnels that go in a web underneath both sites, connecting them and spreading out far beyond them. And their potential mining would be in that entire area, the entire iceberg, as it were, spreading underneath both sites. The tunnels down there right now are full of water. They've been filling up ever since the 50s when they closed the Idaho Maryland mine, and so they're full of water. In addition to that picture of the iceberg, there's also, you could think of all the private wells, which are like straws sticking down into the aquifer down below, which bring water up for private residences. There's probably several hundred of them that we know of that are likely to be affected. So the first 6 months of this proposed mine, they need to pump all the water out of the tunnels. It's a lot of water that's down there. The plan is to be pumping water for 6 months, 24 hours a day, about over 3 million gallons a day of water that would be dumped into the little tributary. That's South Fork of Wolf Creek, which is at the Brunswick site. South Fork is a sweet little perennial creek. Most of the year, it's only 1 to 3 feet wide. You could step over it in many areas, but it runs all year round. The extra volume of this dewatering would bring that creek to a flood stage for 24 hours a day for at least the first 6 months. So of course that would impact the stability of its banks, the riparian flora and fauna that live there along the creek, etc. And after that initial dewatering, they would continue pumping water at a rate of over 1 million gallons a day, because water continually would be flowing back in from the aquifers into the tunnels. That water also has to be pumped out so they can continue to work down there. That's for the next 80 years of the project. In addition to that, the entire industrial site of the Brunswick site would be sloped towards the South Fork of Wolf Creek, which runs right through the middle, essentially treating that like a storm drain through that site of that site. There's a lot of other issues about water. For instance, even after the 80 years, they will need to treat this water in perpetuity because it will have some mineralized manganese and iron that, like almost any abandoned mine, has water that needs to be treated. Right now, there's I don't think I've seen any funding mechanism of how they're going to do that treatment in perpetuity. Anyway, there's lots more to talk about. I'll let the next person speak, and thank you all for being here.